You have entered a no-cap zone. The names of the people involved have been changed to protect their privacy, but the story is true. All right, y'all. So look. I said I was gonna do a story time. All right. I'm about to tell y'all a story about the time your boy Math took his first L in a street fight. Number one thing I learned: I am not from the hood. I'm not from the hood. Okay. I'm black. I'm African American. I live and grew up in a black neighborhood. That does not mean I'm from the hood. It's not. There's a difference. This all happens. I was in about the 8th grade. My dad dropped me off at our friend's house. For the purposes of privacy, we're going to say his name is Brian. Key detail, Brian lives in the hood. No disrespect to Brian, his family, none of that. Not only are we friends, the families are friends. Like, it's all good. I ain't saying nothing about the people. They just happen to live in a rough area. I'm from Tampa. The neighborhood in Tampa is called Sulphur Springs. F school, 0 out of 10, double, triple the crime rate. All right. Sulphur Springs ain't no joke. One sunny day in Sulphur Springs, we decided we're going to ride to the store. And, the plan was like, we're going to get some soda, we're going to get some candy. They had an arcade machine at the store. We're riding our bikes to the store, and kind of like out of nowhere, I hear some hostility. It's cuss words like be this, N-word, that, what I'm saying? Like, somebody's kind of like popping off and talking crazy in the street. It was this dude. Like, when I say dude, it was a kid. We're all kids, right? Again, I'm like 12 or 13, so I'm gonna say the boy's probably 12. He was like a little bit smaller than me. He was on his bike, so we're kind of like passing each other. He's basically pressing us, and I ain't never been pressed before. I ain't never seen him in my life. He's just pressing people in the street. Like, this kid is just about it. You know what I mean? He's not showing no respect, right? He's going crazy. And I'm like, Brian, what's up with dude? You know him? Like, what's going on? Like, why is he talking to us crazy, basically, is what I'm wondering. And the guy, like, he hears me asking Brian questions. I'm like, Brian, who's that? He's like, none of your motherfucking business. Don't worry about who I am. That's how he was coming. When I'm asking Brian, like, what's up with dude? You know what I mean? Whatever. And dude's like popping off. And Brian wasn't really trying to say nothing. We're passing each other, but the dude ain't really trying to ride off. As soon as he started noticing me responding, he start coming back. Like, he kind of want to follow us. Like, are you going to really follow us to the store? Like, what's happening? Brian wasn't saying anything. I went off of his vibes. Brian wasn't saying anything, so I stopped saying anything, right? Brian's not answering none of my questions. He just riding like, The closer we got to the store, the dude kind of like, he didn't really come all the way up to the store. He kind of like started to ride off. He was kind of rode off, popping off down the road, but he left. We made it to the store, and after a while, I kind of gave up trying to get Brian to explain to me like what was going on, and we started playing a game. So I think we bought a little soda, we had a little candy, and we're playing the arcade game. That's the main thing. Street Fighter, whatever it was, we were playing it heavy. It was like super fun. I'm like getting far in the game, trying to beat it and all that. So it was like cool. And I really kind of forgot about the situation. The next stop on the journey is we went up to the basketball court. Now, the basketball court is cool. Okay, it's cool in a lot of ways, but it's also a death trap. Well, the whole school is fenced in. Got a nice little 10-foot chain link fence all around it. But, we're kids. We're 12. We jump in the fence. Everybody jump in the fence. So it's the basketball court. And the basketball court in the school is like right in the neighborhood. So people's houses are all around it. It's right in the spot. The goals at the school court are low. So I can dunk on these goals. There was nobody like really older than me or bigger than me. Maybe like one other boy my size, but I'm like the oldest, biggest kid out there, right? So I'm dominating. I'm balling. I'm blocking shots. I'm like talking trash, you know what I'm saying? Wagging my finger. We're doing all of that. Between games, we would like stop and go have a water break, right? Water's far, it's nasty, it's hot water, it's summertime. So like after like the second or third time, like I'm good on water. Like I'm just gonna like stay here on the court. But basically, because we're hooping, I'm not really paying attention to what's happening outside on the street. I'm not noticing anything. Out of nowhere, I hear somebody say, "There go the bitch because I was going to whip earlier," right? So I look, and it's him. It's dude on the bike that was talking trash going to the store. Oh, bet. Like, this is the dude that was talking trash earlier. I kind of want to check him anyway. From this point on, I'm going to say the dude's name is Rod. Now, I don't really know for sure if that's his real name, but I'm not changing his name to try to protect nothing. Rod is a dangerous person. Be careful when you see Rod. He's talking crazy to me. I was already feeling a certain kind of way because we had seen each other earlier that day. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to right there. My response to that, okay, famous last words. I'm like, man, come get some then. You know what I'm saying? Like, come get some, bro. As soon as I said that, Rod Rod activated. He was waiting on me to say anything like that so he could do what he wanted to do. He started unbuttoning his shirt. Now, this is the 90s. Okay, so everybody's wearing rayon button up. You can Google that. He didn't hesitate. He didn't get like overhyped. He didn't do no overreacting. He just started taking his shirt off. Now he jumping the fence. Now I'm noticing a little bit more detail now, right? I'm noticing that, oh, he's not by himself. He gets inside and he starts walking towards me. I'm expecting that, we're basically gonna like walk up into each other's face, like chest to chest. What's up, bro? What's up, man? What you want to do? Where I'm from, this is kind of how it used to go. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that we're gonna do that until someone gets the nerve to like start the fight off. I'm gonna do my part, so I'm start walking towards him, and I'm expecting to do the chest bump move. No, wrong. As soon as we got close enough, Rod punched me in my face. He said some words that I will never forget to this day, right? He punched me in my face and he was like, "This Sulphur Springs, this is Sulphur Springs, my." I wear glasses at this time, right? I didn't have no contact lenses. At this age, I was wearing glasses, okay? So Rod punched me right in my face. My glasses are off. It's already starting off bad for me. Another thing, okay, so a little bit of lore here is that I think that same year I had won my first good little street fight. 12, 13 years old with another boy like my age, my size, I won. That fight happened in my neighborhood. All my friends that I grew up with was all there. They're like rooting for me. So coming off of that win, right, I'm 1-0, I'm undefeated. I think I can fight good. Okay, so Rod punched me in my face and it's officially a fight now. That first punch, it scared me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't ready for that. It caught me by surprise. I got my dukes up a little bit, but I'm not like, I ain't on my boxing or none of that at this time. I'm 12. This fight, it wasn't like no brawl, okay? It wasn't like, the movies or you see in a bar and people are like tussling and bumping and like, no, it didn't go like that because I was scared the whole time. I went from thinking I was going to win to I don't want to fight anymore. I'm ready to go home. It was never like active. It was basically me getting punched in the face and like not being able to hit him at all. And this is where I found out his name. The people that live around the school are like outside looking. I'm pretty sure all the kids that had went to go get water, everybody's playing basketball is there. But this is all hitting different now, right? I'm in somebody else's neighborhood. Everybody's rooting for Rod. So I hear a dude from the sideline like this is how the fight was going bad. The dude from the sideline is like shouting out requests. Rod, hit him with the 1-piece. Rod, hit him with the 2-piece. Like he's like calling out combos that he wants to see Rod hit me with in the face, right? Dude's like, Rod, hit him with a 2-piece, right? So I kind of figured that one out. So I know now Rod's getting ready to try to hit me with a 1-2 type combination thing, right? So that registers for whatever reason. That registered for me. He tries it. So I slip a punch in between, you know what I'm saying? Like he did one or whatever. I moved that way. Then I caught him one time. You know what I'm saying? So I got my one little punch in. So it wasn't a total L. Okay. I did get a punch in. It was a powder puff, no power, but I did my fist touch Rod's face. So you know what I'm saying? Remember that too, Rod. So I got my one little punch in, right? Basically right after that happened. I remember Rod got upset, right? He was acting like I wasn't allowed to, only he could hit me. I'm not allowed to hit him back, right? That was his attitude. So I landed my one little punch, and some of the other boys that Rod was with, they had also jumped the fence. They were kind of like around the fight watching. One or two of them, I peeped game. One or two of them was kind of like inching and moving around me. So they had kind of slid behind me. A boy came and tried to swing on me from behind. He really mostly missed. Like, I don't remember getting hit. It wasn't no major impact, but he like missed and kind of ran into me though. Basically what happened is it made me fall down. So I know if I fall on the ground, they're going to try to kick me, right? So I'm like back up on my feet real fast. Technically, another person hit me, I'm getting jumped. So now, right, rules of the streets, I can run now. You feel what I'm saying? When it was a 1v1, I had to stay and take that L. But as soon as you got jumped, I ran. I had to run. They were jumping me. I had to run, right? So let me give Brian a little bit of credit. Okay, let's not forget about Brian. When the other dude hit me, I heard Brian was like, "Y'all stop." Rod heard that in the middle of the fight, stopped, looked at Brian and was like, "Oh, you want some?" Brian was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm cool. I don't want none." Realistically, it was valid. The fight was between me and Rod. It was a 1v1. I was just happened to be losing. Brian can't just jump in and like me and him just double teaming this dude because this is Brian's hood. He has to live there. All right, you ain't about to jump nobody that live in your own hood and then come around the next day. Like, what is he gonna do? He gonna have to see them, all them boys. You know what I'm saying? So Brian was right for not necessarily like he you know, his hands were basically tied. But basically, as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh, I'm getting jumped. Now I have an excuse I can run. Oh, and let me tell you, fighting Rod, it was like fighting Mike Tyson. I had been in one fight before that, and my first fight, you know, the dude was like swinging, and I'm like ducking his punches, and like I blocked one or two. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really getting it in on that first fight. When I fought Rod, I didn't even see his punches coming. It was felt like getting struck by lightning. I got my dukes up, he got his dukes up. I blink, and now I done got punched. He's like hitting me before I even know what's happening. He's like the best fighter I ever seen in my life. Floyd Mayweather out there. So yeah, it was not going well, and I was ready to go home anyway. Let's be clear. We're doing the fighting circle, and I position myself, and as soon as I see the opening, boom, I'm gone. I have never run faster in my life. Don't forget, there's a 10-foot fence. I jumped that fence so fast. I think I probably only touched the fence like 3 times. Like, pew, pew, pew. I'm flying. Bam! My feet hit the ground. I'm gone. I am running like a gazelle out here. I left Brian. I left his bike. I left my glasses. I had took my watch off. I left my watch. I'm gone. It was a lady, like the whole, literally the neighborhood was outside watching. I ran past a lady, and the lady was like, y'all leave that boy alone. Like they're terrorizing me at this point, right? So I'm running, and as far as I'm concerned, everybody is chasing me. I'm in somebody else's neighborhood. I don't know my way around, and I don't have my glass. It's blur. It's blur vision. I can't find Brian's house. I don't know where I'm going. Have you ever seen the back of like a grocery store, like warehouse district type vibes? That's what it looks like out there. I see an ambulance at the end of the street. They're about to save my life. I get up to the ambulance. I'm banging on the window. Boom, boom, let me in. Let me in. They're coming. They're coming. Let me in. We all have to get in and go. They're coming. Ambulance guys are probably like having lunch or whatever, right? They're like, chill, bro, calm down. They start doing a bunch of stuff that I feel like is wasting time, right? Because I think I'm being chased by an entire neighborhood of bad boys. Open the door. They kind of like look up the street, and the boys are up at the top of the hill, a block away, a block or two away. They're kind of far away, but we can see each other. Hey, you better let me in so we can go. Them boys right there are gonna beat you up too if you don't let me in. We need to go. That's what I'm trying to tell the ambulance people. The ambulance people are like, kid, calm down, chill out. So they're kind of like talking me down. My nose is bleeding. I'm like panicking, whatever, right? It's like, it's scary. And so the ambulance dudes are like putting their gloves on. I feel like they're putting their gloves on too slow. Everything is happening too slow as far as I'm concerned. I'm like, you don't see them boys up there? And they're like, listen, they're not coming. The kids are not going to come down here. You're good. I don't really remember how it like unfolded from that point. They probably like asked me questions. Who are you? Blah, blah, blah. They got enough information out of me to like call some adults. Basically, I was fine. They like cleaned my face up. And, you know, I ended up with like ice pack and something like that. I didn't get beat up real bad. It wasn't like I got jumped by a whole bunch of people. I just lost a little fist fight. A funny part of the story, I remember, you know, like maybe like a week or two later, I was talking to my mom, and she was like, why don't you get the boys in your neighborhood and go back over there and go get your revenge? No, listen, I never went to Sulphur Springs again. I never set foot in Sulphur Springs again. I knew that like the boys and me and my homeboys in my neighborhood, we wasn't about to go over there and beat nobody up. It was just gonna get more people was gonna get hurt. That was how it went. It's an official L. It's an official L in the record book. I can't lie. Dude beat me. I like to say I got jumped, but truth be told, it was an L, 1v1 L before, way before any of that other stuff happened. Shout out to Silver Springs. I'm from Tampa. Tampa's my city. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I got left for the whole city. But yeah, I definitely got beat up in Silver Springs. Later in life, I heard stories. He was like getting in fights in middle school, chasing big boys down the hall and all that. Okay, so Rod wasn't no joke. I do think he was younger than me. He was definitely shorter than me. I wouldn't be surprised if he told me Rod was like taking boxing classes and all that when we were kids, because he was a good fighter. He won. Yeah, you got that one, Rod. That was it, man. That's story time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I have a lot more of these, so y'all gotta hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? You gotta press something. Let me know if you enjoyed the story. It was a good one. That's a kind of a math classic right there. Anytime I'm like telling a good fight story, that's the one. I learned to stop trying to pretend and portray myself as someone that I'm not. I ain't Snoop Dogg. I'm not Dr. Dre. I'm not Eazy-E. I'm not none of that. Right? I'm a regular kid. And so I learned from that point on to stop trying to pretend like I'm something else. Sometimes that's how you have to learn, right? Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way, and I definitely did that day.